My name is Oluwatosin Olasende. I'm the founder of Money Africa. Money Africa educates you about everything relating to your money, and we leverage on technology to achieve that. We have a podcast called Money Talk, and today we have a very interesting topic with my two special guests. Can you guess what this topic is about? I want you to guess. CORPER, wow. There you go. We're talking about how to save and invest during your NYSC year. So let me start with Okwe on my right. Okwe, can you just tell us about yourself, what you're doing, and where did you study?
My name is Okwe. I work at Money Africa as a financial research analyst, and I studied economics at Babcock University.
Fantastic. And to my left, I have here Pikuda.
Hi everyone, my name is Pikuda. I also work as a junior analyst at Money Africa and also a content creator for Lada, a Money Africa's sister company. I studied finance at Covenant University.
Nice. So you studied economics?
Yes.
And you studied finance?
Yes.
And then you found your way to Money Africa? Yes. We're happy to have you guys. So I just want to talk today about, how to invest and save and just basically take care of your money during your CORPER years. So how much does the government pay you?
33K.
Oh, wow. How much?
33,000.
I was on a show yesterday and I think I said 19,600. So that was during my time.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's true. That's changed. Interesting. So talk to me about, in terms of your expectations, in terms of money and all of that, how do you navigate it?
Okay, so what I started doing was that before the end of the month, I planned for the next month. So I look at, how much I'm going to spend on transportation, on food, and most of my basic needs are already taken care of. So I just need to figure out what I'm going to spend. So then I create a budget and look at, this is what I'm going to spend. And then the ones that are left, I save it for emergency savings. So right now I'm just trying to build up my emergency savings.
Fantastic. So what I'm hearing from you is that you probably live at home.
Yes.
And then your basic needs are met, so that way you're able to channel your funds into other things and also your emergency savings. Yes. Interesting. How about you, Pico Dad?
Okay, so I recently downloaded the Ladder app. And like Okwe said, I also create a budget for myself. For my transportation, before I live in Ikorodu and Money Africa is located at Lekki, so it's a very long distance. So before I used to take the ferry, but for me, I wanted to chill with the big boys, look like a rich kid. But I realized that it was very expensive. Transportation was very expensive, so I started using short last, and then that was easier to calculate because the amount is already on the tickets of when you book your ticket, the amount is already there. So I calculate for the entire month and the number of days that I'm going to go into the office and put it in the budget. Then on Ladder, there's a savings service where you can save for a particular thing. You can save for maybe the holidays, you can save for transportation, you can save for food, you can save for emergency fund. That one's a different thing. So there's a segment on my Ladder app, in my portfolio on my Ladder app, where it's just for transportation. So I just put all the money for April now. All the money for April for transportation is on my Ladder app. And I live with my parents. I don't parents. I don't do that.
Interesting. Yeah. Wow, that's very nice. So the next question I want to ask you is, I strongly believe that you're your biggest asset as young people, right? And I feel like, the more you invest in yourself, the more you'll be able to earn in the future and things like that. So how do you navigate that? And in terms of investing in yourself, so now we talked about savings, you're saving for transportation, saving for emergency funds, but how do you then invest in yourself? What do you do in order to improve your skills?
Okay, so what we've started doing is that Adedayo has been teaching us about research. So before, when we came to Money Africa, we didn't know so much about how to analyze the earnings of companies, about the macro and microeconomy. Yeah, we're taught this at school, but we're not taught the practical aspect of it. So from time to time, every week, he teaches us about things like this, so that in the meantime, we also can advise clients on where to keep their money and things like that. And also in my free time, I look through anything I can see, different podcasts, and also the previous sessions that have been taken, so I can develop myself personally. Because yes, I also love creating content. I love making videos. I love being doing things like that. But I also want to develop my professional skills and to also be able to become a senior analyst probably in the future.
Fantastic. So that's interesting. So you're developing your skills, you're using your free time to educate yourself about what's happening in the market, how to read financial statements, how to interpret it and things like that, so that your skills can get better and then you can earn more income.
Yes.
This conversation is very important because, we don't want a situation where as people go through their service year, and I know many people talk about like whenever we ask people and say, what should I invest in? They'll say things like, oh, save money to buy one plot of land. Maybe you can save like 200K buy a plot of land. I mean, it's possible. Like, let's say you're earning 100,000 naira in total, inclusive of what the government gives, right? And let's say you put away 30K every month, like within the next 6-7 months, it's something that is possible. However, I am opposing to that. I feel that young people should be more aggressive about investing in themselves so they can move to like 100K salary to like, 250K and just move up that ladder. What are your thoughts on that, Pikuda?
Yeah, that's very that makes a lot of sense, because I think most people, when we were in the university, all of us just wanted to read to pass. Nobody really understood what we were doing. So, like Ope said, Money Africa is running a program for us junior analysts where they train us on our analytic skills. We join earning scores of different companies, even if you don't really understand what they're saying, because as you are hearing different calls, hearing questions that other analysts are asking, you tend to learn more about the market. There are some newsletters that are sent to us to read. Then you can go to YouTube. YouTube is I think a lot of people don't know that YouTube is a place that you can learn a lot of things, and it's free. Like, you can learn anything on YouTube. So just go to YouTube and research on anything, any topic in particular, just to invest in yourself. For me personally, yes, I like finance. I'm interested in finance, but like, my heart is also beating for video editing. So when I wanted to start video editing, I have a YouTube channel too. So when I wanted to start that,
it's okay, plug your YouTube channel. What YouTube channel do you? Tell us.
It's just Pikuda.
Follow Pikuda's YouTube channel. Follow your girl Pikuda.
I've not posted in a while.
Well, follow.
So before I went into that, what I just did was I just started watching a bunch of videos on video editing. Just start watching a bunch of. If you want to, for example, there are different editing softwares. Focus on one, and then if you don't know how to do a certain thing on the app, just go to YouTube. How to do so and so on InShot, how to do so and so on Canva. It's very easy to upskill yourself.
Now let me plug that quickly. Let me tell you how Pikuda got into Money Africa. Pikuda sent me a DM on Instagram and said, "Oh, Tosin, I just finished. I studied finance at Covenant University. I want to join." And to be honest, we already had like a few people that we had interviewed for finance analyst role. But guess what made her stand out? It was the editing skills. I went to her YouTube. I was like, are you kidding me? We get 2 packages in one. Come over, girl. And that was it. So again, I'm educating at build on your skills. It might just give, so you might be thinking, oh, I'm in finance, I might not be interested in this. Maybe you're fantastic at, media, or you're fantastic at something else that could just give you an edge over other people that just have just one skill. So we're very aggressive about building skills and just putting in. So she didn't even have to go through a lot of hoops. She had what we wanted. It was one interview and it was a done deal. It was less than a week, right? So that was because of that extra skill. So guys, please, especially for young people, be aggressive. Whenever you invest in yourself, you put yourself above every other person that are trying to chase what you also looking for. Great. So, but do you have any other interest besides finance? What else makes you tick?
Do I have any other interest? I like makeup.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and I like fashion, beauty, and things like that.
Do you plan on pursuing it, or or is it just a hobby? But do you have any plans of maybe going into it?
Yeah, I had plans of going into it, but the plans kind of stalled because I felt like the makeup market was so saturated, so I was very discouraged, and I was in school, so it wasn't really something that I ended up doing. So most of the time I used to do makeup for my friends. I did free of charge anytime we're having dinners and things like that, and they really, really loved it.
Can you imagine? And I used to pay so much money to get my makeup done. Now I have a new makeup artist. Let me counter what Okwe has said. I read a research yesterday and it was about Feroz, or I don't even pronounce it properly, maybe Feroz, right? That drink. When it came into the market, Coca-Cola was the market leader, or is still the market leader. But guess what? They entered that market with 30% increase in price compared to that of Coca-Cola. And guess what, guys? They snatched some market from Coca-Cola. So don't be worried about market saturation. If you can bring in a unique way to address your market, there's space for you. So that's for you. There's a lady I saw that does makeup. Guess what she does? She does her makeup doing storytelling. So she tells you a really crazy story and she's just there doing her makeup. I didn't even realize that I had already become a member of her because it was a storytelling. So she's just doing her eyebrow, then doing her lashes, and it was different from what other people were doing. So don't be worried about all the other players out there. Look at Nigeria. We have about 21 commercial banks and another bank still open. I'm not going to give them free advice by calling their name. So they saw all those 21 banks in Nigeria and they still went and they opened another one. So don't be worried about who is in the market. Go in there and give them something unique and something to talk about. Cool stuff. So I guess the next question I want to ask is, what are you excited about? What are your plans for the future? So in terms of NYSC now, so I mean, I know NYSC year just literally started. It's I think it's about 2 months now, or how many months?
3 months.
3 months. So what are you thinking of in the next 10 years? What do you think? Have you thought that far? Okay, 5 years?
Thought that far. My plan was to work in, like I said, I'm interested in finance, obviously, because that's what I studied. And I've always had an interest in the financial intermediation, the idea behind financial intermediation. And also, I've also had a very, very strong interest in video editing, videography in general. So what I planned to do was like work in the finance industry for 5 years. And then the money I get from my labor in the finance industry, after those 5 years, I'll go to London Film School. That's my plan.
That's true. Have you checked if they have a scholarship?
They do. I think they do.
You'll be surprised.
They do.
This is the best time to be an African woman in Africa, living on the continent, right? You might just find a scholarship. So after this show, I want you to go and research and search. There might just, and if there's no scholarship, guess what? There might be a company willing to pay for it. Right. So I want you to search. I want you to fully exhaust your option. I have a mentee. She studied a master's at London School of Economics and she did the GMAT and all of that. And guess what? She got a full scholarship. So yeah, she just got a position now at Deloitte. She'll be starting in September after the summer. And it was from a scholarship. She now lives in London and she'll be starting at Deloitte in the UK. So don't write off that. You know, scholarship is another big thing, right? Many people have dreams and they're like, oh my gosh, it's so expensive. I might have to wait for 5 or 10 years. There might just be a scholarship for you. So over to you, Akwa. No pressure. What are your thoughts? You know,
okay, so I've not really thought that far. And anytime I think about things like that, I just end up overthinking because I don't really know what exactly I want. But I feel like I like the finance space. I like financial technology. I like how, especially ladder, I like how we are disrupting the norm and we're bringing something that is not popular. Like we're disrupting how things are normally done. Yeah, so I've always liked that and I've always wanted to like develop myself and know better about things like that. And yeah, so basically that's what I'm thinking about.
Interesting. That's nice. So I mean, the fintech space in Nigeria and even Africa in general is very vibrant. So there's space and there's lots of room for you. So I guess my last thing would be, what do you have for other coppers out there that are trying to navigate how their money are? I understand you guys are working at a financial literacy company and every day you hear us talk about money. Now it gets really interesting. Let me gist you guys. So I got my first job at the age of 20 in Johannesburg, South Africa. I was working as an auditor. I'll go to work every day. This is assets, this is liability, but I was struggling with my own money, right? I was struggling with my own money. So it's possible to be in the midst of all of this and still struggle with your money. So I think it always have to start with us. We have to be very intentional that, you know, I want to take care of my own money and things like that. So just give up tips to other coppers like you. You know, it's one to talk, it's another one to practice and all of that. And I'm happy that at least HMO is covered. So your health is covered. Well, you can just talk to us about your last tips and then we can take it from there.
Okay, so my final tips are create a budget. Like I studied economics, but before I came to Money Africa, I was the spender in my house. Like my daddy never trusts me with money. So ever since I came to Money Africa, I figured out that okay, I'm now independent. It gets to a point where your parents are not going to get you everything. So my advice to all youth corpers, like people about to start their service, is that you should always create a budget and don't be too easily influenced by what you see outside. Yeah, there are people that are going to have more than you. People will be able to afford more things than you, but you should try to live within or even below your means, because it's better to think about the future. It's better to deprive yourself of some certain things now, because you're going to know you're going to enjoy it even more in the future.
Fantastic. And yourself?
I'm still a spender, but one thing that has helped me is automated savings. Once you know that on this day of the month, this money is leaving my account. Whatever is left in your account, you like spending, I don't have to be hungry. So once you automate your savings, you know that you are getting this amount of money at the end of the year. Do you understand? So once you automate your savings, you're good to go. And I also feel like you should stop comparing yourself to other people's lifestyles, especially on social media. Social media is fake. It's not real. It's not real. Like, you're not seeing like 24 hours of somebody's life. It's just like the 15 seconds that the person is happy, that person is posting on social media. It might not even be the person's car, it might not be the person's phone. So social media is not something to compare yourself to. So that's what I have to say.
That's fantastic. I just want to just quickly touch on that. So even if that person's life on social media is true, we must remember that we are all in different stages of our lives. There was a time I used to live in a boys' quarter, and I made sure I enjoyed it. I remember then I had one small tiny kitchen. It was close to my it was like in my parlor. They just came and used wood to help me do one small corner so I can cook. I'll make catfish soup. Now I don't even cook like before. I'll make catfish. So I'll fry so I love soft plantain. I'll fry soft plantain. Then then they used to sell those series on disc. You buy it. I'll watch the weekend. I'll watch Heroes. I'll eat my plantain and catfish. Yeah, I'll be so happy. I'll drink Chivita juice. Whatever. If you're in a boys' quarter, if you're squatting your parents, wherever it is, you have to be happy and make the most of that, because the future is coming. Things are going to get better. A time is coming. You're going to live in your own terrace. Things will improve. So just enjoy it. Don't worry about other people and make the most of what is currently available to you. So that's pretty much it from the Money Africa team. My name is Oluwatosin Olasende. I'm the founder of Money Africa. Here with us are our analysts. Thank you. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to share it and have a fantastic, fantastic weekend. Take care.